Today I wanted to talk about the different kind of love connections we can have with another person in the context of healing and living a life of thriving with another person and thriving with ourselves personally. Okay? Now, we all want love. And one of the reasons for that is because A, it's a necessity, and B, it's required for our healing. We're all trying to heal. We're all hurt, we're all wounded, we're all diseased on some levels or the other. We came to earth to heal. And a big part of that process is through love connections. But different types of love connections heal us in different ways. And only certain types of love connections will heal us in ways that we can keep having that love and thrive. While other love connections, they might heal us, but if we try to own those, we try to keep those love connections, we will wither and get sick and die in a whole new way. Okay? And really, psychologically and emotionally, we heal in the very same way that our body will respond to disease. Okay? So let's imagine you're sick, physically sick, to get the picture in your head of what I'm going to be talking about on an emotional and relationship level. Okay? You're sick. Now you need to get better. Well, one way you can get better is through proper nutrition. If you eat the right foods with the right nutrition, your body will rebuild itself and you'll get healthier. Okay? Not only that, but that proper nutrition is good for you, which means you can keep eating it the rest of your life. And as long as you eat the proper nutrition, you'll stay healthy. Okay? There's relationships like that are nutritional, meaning they give us what we need on an emotional and loving and emotional and social level. They give us the emotional and social and intellectual connections we need to be healthy, okay, on an emotional level. The same way that eating the right foods makes our bodies healthy, okay, it just builds up our bodies, right? Now, if you eat junk food, you're going to create a disease and your body's going to break down. It's the same way if you have a relationship that's toxic, meaning the person in it is not nutritional, they're not good food, they're junk food, then consuming them, having them in your life, will cause you to decay. Okay? So, one of the love connections we can possibly have with people is a nutritional love connection, one that fulfills our social and emotional needs. Okay? I'm going to talk about that a lot more. Now, the other type of healing that can happen on a physical level is you can have something wrong with you that's not even based on bad nutrition. Just something wrong with you. It's not because you have a vitamin C shortage, for instance, or because you're not getting enough protein. Okay? Something's wrong with you because there's just something that doesn't work right. The energy in your system that's designed to keep you healthy is just blocked and stuck and moving in the wrong direction, creating a disease. Okay? So, you literally have a disease. It could even be in your DNA. Okay? Now that can be healed as well. And the way those type of diseases are healed are homeopathically. Meaning that, let me explain what a homeopathic healing is. There's a bark, okay? It's called China. And if you eat that bark, you will get the symptoms of malaria. You'll get super high fevers and all the symptoms of malaria. And if you ate that and went to the doctor, they would say, oh, you got malaria. Okay? But they would be wrong. What you've got is China poisoning. Okay? But if you find a person who has malaria, they actually have it, they're sick with malaria, and you give them China, they may actually get better. It'll cure them homeopathically. It's the idea that the disease is cured by the poison that would create the disease in a healthy person. Okay? That's what a homeopathic healing is. And that can also happen in relationships. Now the thing with the homeopathic healing is though, after taking the remedy that heals a person homeopathically, if they keep taking it every day of their lives, they'll get sick and die. So, if you have malaria and you take China and you get better, and then you think, I never want to have malaria again, so I'm going to eat China every day, in 2 years you'll be dead. Okay? Some relationships are just like that. Okay? All right, then the other way we deal with disease, I don't say cure disease, but where we deal with disease, because sometimes we have to deal with disease, meaning sometimes the situation is so severe that no healing is possible. You just got to keep the person from dying. And sometimes that happens in our life too. Sometimes on an emotional level, we can be so low that if something doesn't make us feel better, we're just going to give up. We're just going to give up in spirit or actually jump. Okay? So there's times when the third type of, let's call it medicine, is helpful, and that is suppressive medicine. Suppressive medicine helps you survive with something wrong with you. It helps you get through the day. So say, for instance, I break out in hives and I get itches all over my body, right? Well, there's a point where those itches might just be driving me crazy, where I just want to run into a fire to stop the pain because the itches are driving me crazy. Well, at that point, it might be better for me to go to the doctor, get some cortisone cream, put the cortisone cream on, and alleviate the itching. Now, when I take that cortisone cream, the disease, which was trying to get out and creating all the itches, gets shoved right back in me. It's not cured. It's there. I'm going to have to deal with it later. Okay? But I'm going to make it through the day. All right? Well, love, we can also have those kind of love connections. Sometimes we just need a person that gives us some peace, that somehow lets us get away from something. Okay? They're not going to cure us. They're not going to heal us. They're just going to let us escape something that's plaguing us. Okay? So say you've got self-esteem issues. And your self-esteem is getting bombed all the time. And you're just like, ugh. And then someone comes along who doesn't bomb your self-esteem. They actually validate you as a human being. They say, you're wonderful. Then what just happened is that's a suppressive connection. Okay? They're making you feel better. It's a Band-Aid. It's not a cure. All right? So, in the case of the body, if you have to take the cortisone cream to get through that one serious day, okay, do it. But if the next day you take cortisone cream, and the next day you take cortisone cream, and the next day you take cortisone cream for the next 20 years, you're going to get killed from the cortisone. Not exactly the cortisone, but you're going to be killed from suppressing so much disease in yourself that you never heal. And if you don't heal, you die. And that happens on an emotional level too. So, with love connections, we have the same type of love connections. When we're in love, we heal, don't we? Raise your hand if you've been in love and not healed in some way. No one is raising their hand. Okay? Raise your hand if 6 months after you were healed by love, you were in just as bad of a condition, right? Let's all raise our hands, right? Because just like with the body, there's some things that will help the body heal, and there's some things that will help the body get through the moment. But those are only few things that will allow the body to maintain a state of health over a long period of time. And it's the very same way with our love connections. Okay? So, I'm going to talk about the nutritional love connections last. But first I'm going to talk about homeopathic love connections. And realize these different love connections, because we're like really fantastic beings, are not so linear. They'll be multidimensional. You might have a love connection or a homeopathic love connection with a nutritional love connection. You just have to see. So these will blend together. These are the three types of love connections that heal, which is the only thing that love, which love always does, okay? So, if we have a homeopathic love connection with someone, that means we need to touch that person, okay? Just a touch. We don't need to keep that person. The reason that is because in our bodies, disease starts because we got knocked off track. Our life force in our body got knocked off track. Like an event happened. Say you had an accident, or say, you got locked in an elevator and freaked out. Something happened that knocked your life force off track. Just a little bit. Just 1/10 of a degree. And over time, because your life force has been knocked off track 1/10 of a degree, health is this way for your life force, but it gets knocked off track 1/10 of a degree through something. And after time, that 1/10 of a degree gets the body way out of alignment until you have a big disease. Okay? So how do you fix that? Well, the homeopathic fix is you go, well, I'm just going to touch that off-balance life force, notch it half a degree, and over time, that half a degree is going to get them to a perfect state of health. That's all. I'm just going to nudge it. That's what homeopathy does. Homeopathy is not the medicine you take every day. If you take a homeopathic medicine every day, you're saying, okay, my life force I'm sick because my life force has been knocked off kilter. And it's just started a little bit, but now it's 40 degrees south of where it's supposed to be, so I'm really ill. So I'm going to take a homeopathic medicine, knock it half a degree. Take it again, knock it out in half. Take it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. All of a sudden, your body is going into a completely new disease state. You can't take homeopathic medicine over time. Okay? It'll kill you. It's just like the person who gets cured of malaria with China. If they eat China every day thinking, oh, China is what keeps you healthy, they're killing themselves. It's the same thing with the homeopathic love connection. Sometimes we need to experience a state of some type of love with somebody that creates a type of, that allows always for a certain type of acceptance. Okay? But there's a state of love that we need to be touched by that love. But that doesn't mean they're nutritionally right for us. That doesn't mean we can take them home and live with them for 20 years and be healthy. Okay? So realize that some of the people you meet, the people you might fall in love the fastest with, could be these homeopathic love connections. Because you need it so much. You need it so much to get better. And so you meet the person, you get better, right? And then what do? Then you try to cling to that love connection. But it's not the right love connection for you. But it has to be, because it may look how good I feel. I feel happy for the first time. You know, my aches and pains in my body even went away. I feel optimistic about life finally. It has to be the person to bring home. No, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's a delusion. When you suffer from that delusion, you go through roller coaster relationships. I'm in love, I'm going to get married. A year later, you're not married. You know? It doesn't work that way. I wish it did. I wish there was no such thing as homeopathic love connections. You know, I wish there was only the kind that worked. But there's not. Some people have just what we need to get touched by. We have what some people just need to be touched by in a loving exchange of some sort. Who knows what sort? It could be any kind of sort. Okay? It doesn't even have to be sexual. Just a love, a passing of love that helps people realign themselves on an emotional level and make progress. And sometimes these are so subtle you don't even realize love was exchanged. And other times they're so powerful, you're like, oh, there's my angel, he cured me. You know? But that doesn't mean it's forever. If you keep taking that person in, you might find yourself sicker than you started with. Okay? So realize some of the relationships that didn't happen might have just happened because they weren't right. You know, it wasn't because you were cursed, because they didn't serve the purpose of forever. Okay? So a suppressive like connection is something that helps us just not feel bad, helps us get away from the pain. So say you have a guy with low self-esteem. He's gotten to the point where he just can't see himself doing anything useful or doing anything with his life or moving forward, and he just feels so bad about himself, right? So he decides he's going to jump. And he goes to the bridge. He's about to jump. You know, he's getting ready to climb over the wall and jump, right? And a beautiful girl drives by in a convertible. She slows down and smiles at him. That's all she does. She just slows down and smiles at him and drives away. Well, all of a sudden he feels, wow, there's a cute girl, this pretty girl that thought I was cute or something. Wow. And for a moment in time, right when he was about to lose it and jump, for a moment in time, he's away from that feeling of utter worthlessness and away from that feeling of utter lack of desirability. And he had a break from those horrible feelings just long enough that he decides not to jump. Okay? That's what like a suppressive, love connection is. It's someone that helps us feel better. And we'll meet those people. We'll meet people that come up to the girl who doesn't feel attractive and say, you're beautiful. And the girl will feel good, and all of her pain of feeling unattractive and unwanted and unloved disappears for a moment, right? But no healing took place. Just his words made her feel better. Okay? Or a guy with no self-esteem meets someone and the person looks up to them for some reason. And for a moment he thinks, oh yeah, maybe, I'm cool actually. I'm actually cool, wow. But nothing's changed. No healing's taken place. Okay? But let's say they get together. The guy with the no self-esteem and the guy with the girl with a really poor self-image who feels like no one will love her. And the guy, for the first 6 months, every morning he wakes up, calls her, oh, hey, beautiful, how are you? I miss you so much. You're so wonderful. You're so beautiful. I can't believe how beautiful you are. I can't wait to see you. And every day she's happy. Her pain's suppressed, right? It's alleviated in the balms, the Band-Aid of his kind words and loving words, right? 6 months later, though, it's not the same, right? 6 months later, it's time to get back to normal life. And he doesn't tell the girl every day she's the best thing on earth. And every day he doesn't tell her she's unhappy, she's miserable, she's depressed. She's the same thing she always was. But then he's not giving her what she really needs. And she's not really giving him what she really needs. Or, they're not giving each other what they really need. They're not really nourishing each other. They just were able to make the other person feel good about the other person for a little while. Okay? That's one way a suppressive type love connection can be. You just don't hurt a person. You don't hurt the person. And all of a sudden, they don't have to deal with those pains that are getting pushed by everyone else. And then they feel they're in love. It is a kind of love, right? But it's not the love that can necessarily work. So really, some people will just come here and make us feel better about ourselves for a little bit, to give us a break from the horror of being ourselves. Literally, to give us a break from how hard and painful it is to be us sometimes. And they come along and say things that make us feel great about ourselves. But did anything really change? No. We didn't change. The guy still has no self-esteem. The girl still has a poor self-image. For 6 months, her new boyfriend told her how beautiful she is. But she still feels ugly. She's not healed. She didn't feel more beautiful about herself. She just heard the words and forgot how ugly she felt about herself. So every day where he can't validate how wonderful and beautiful she is, she's upset at him. And only the days that he can is she happy. So he has to keep applying the medicine. And same for him. She has to apply the medicine every day. Oh, you're such a great guy. I'm so lucky I met someone as cool as you. It's amazing what you can do. Da-da-da-da-da. If she's not validating him every day, if she gives her own opinion, he gets angry. Because he's still the same low self-esteem guy he always was. And so is she. Sometimes need a break. But it's never a lifestyle. It won't work. So suppressive love connections are people who make us feel better about ourselves through their kindness, usually. Okay? Through something. Somehow they make us feel better about ourselves. But nothing's changing ourselves. It's just a Band-Aid love. I cannot tell you how many relationships are that kind of relationship. Where people are making each other feel good. And literally think that's each other's job. Oh, I have to do this to keep my wife happy. I got to do this to keep my husband, from being grumpy. They're like literally all day long saying, where can I put the Band-Aid? You can imagine, right? They're nursing each other. Yes, you need it sometimes. But a lifestyle, no way. It's not a healthy lifestyle. Because then what happens? You never get better, right? If you're always having somebody put a Band-Aid on, you never get better. And then when the person doesn't put the Band-Aid on, you're upset at them. And that's when the problems start happening. That's when people start splitting up. Well, if you're not going to put a Band-Aid on me, I'm leaving. Find someone else who will put a Band-Aid on me. That's what can happen. Okay? So those relationships, they can help. Those type, the homeopathic love connection, the suppressive love connection, the kind that suppresses our pain about ourselves, they can help at times. But one's just a Band-Aid, and the other one's just designed us to heal something wrong in ourselves, to help us make peace with something that we're not at peace with. So the homeopathic love connection, that'll often happen when we have a demon inside of us that we're not at peace with. We have a part in ourselves that we're not okay with. There's a part of us that we are a certain way and we hate it. For instance, I really want money, but I hate that about myself. You know, some people are like that. They want money, but they hate that they want money. They think it's wrong to want money. So a part of myself saying, you're evil because you want money, right? Then they meet a person who has lots of money, who's great at making money, who's a wonderful, kind, loving person, does lots of good things with their money. They go, wait a minute, maybe wanting money is not such a bad thing. Here's a person who wants money and they're a wonderful person. Wow, I could want money and be wonderful at the same time. I never thought I could want money and be wonderful at the same time. Wow. And it's a revelation that heals them. And all of a sudden, they're okay with the part of themselves that wants to have money. And a healing has happened, okay? That's how a homeopathic healing will happen. It's not that common, but when it does, it's very deep and life-changing. It really, really is. I've also seen these type of healings happen homeopathically. They usually happen along very physical lines, on the lines of money and sex. Because those are our biggest physical blocks, you know. There's a part of us that thinks it's wrong to have money and it's wrong to need sex. You know, that's a common denominality in our cultures. So if a person thinks it's evil to have sex, and they meet a wonderful person who's totally okay with having sex, they can have a homeopathic healing by knowing that person. You know, by having sex without being judged for it, and therefore not judging themselves for it. So lots of times these homeopathic healings happen along those lines, money and sex. But it can happen along any line where there's something about yourself that you hate, that you're not okay with, and then you experience it in a form that you love. You experience someone you love that loves making money. You experience someone you love who's a sex fiend. You experience someone you love who is something that you hate about yourself. And you have a homeopathic healing, okay? But none of those two relationships are guaranteed to work, but you're going to want them to work because you feel better. But if you keep taking the medicine that those people offered, you're going to get sick and you're going to be worse off than you were in the beginning, okay? All right, the type of loving connection that works is the nutritional love connection. That's where the person has the nutrition for you, you know, that you can eat every day. It's what's right for you to eat, okay? They have nutritionally what you need mentally, emotionally, and physically. Because we have social needs on a mental, physical, and emotional level. We have to connect intellectually. We have to connect emotionally. And we have to connect physically through sex and affection. Okay? And different people need that to different degrees and of different types, you know? So we can't, like an intellectual person like me, can't just connect intellectually to somebody about anything. It has to be something I'm intellectually interested in, right? Okay. So we all need somewhat of a different flavor of these three basic, you know, vitamins, emotional, physical, and intellectual vitamins that we need from people on a social level. And so we have to see if the people have that to offer. And people are like food. There's carrots and there is Twinkies, right? If you eat Twinkies every day, you'll get sick. If you eat carrots, you'll be healthier. And by carrots, I mean the whole vegetable kingdom. By Twinkies, I mean the whole, you know, hostess family, okay? So people are the same way. Some people, if you try to eat them, if anyone tries to eat them, they'll get sick. You know? If anyone tries to live on Twinkies, they'll get sick. And there's some people, if anyone on earth tries to live off that person, tries to invite them into their life and have a long-term relationship, they'll get sick from it. Because that person is not capable of providing nutrition to somebody on an emotional level any more than a Twinkie is capable of providing nutrition on a physical level. Okay? All right. So those people just can't. And then everyone who is actual food. One person's a fruit, one person's a vegetable, one person's a fish, another person is a legume or whatever. These things can provide nutrition. They're actually capable of, they have nutrition in them. But that doesn't mean every person can survive equally well on beans, fish, grasshoppers, fruit, or carrots. Okay? Different people will survive better on different types of foods. And even within that, some people will do better on oranges. Other people, and Indians in general, do better on oranges, where people who have Northern European descent will do better on plums. Okay? So we're the same way emotionally, is that we will do better with certain nutritional, emotional, intellectual, and physical elements than other people. So if someone's a good person, a caring, loving person, capable of emotional connection, it doesn't mean that they're the exact right nutrition for us. But it does mean that they are food for everybody. Okay? Meaning they can be somewhat nutritional for everyone, but that's not good enough. You need what's nutritionally right for you based on how you are to thrive. If you eat what's has nutrition, but it's not customized for you, you won't thrive physically. Okay? To thrive physically, you have to have the food that's really right for you. To thrive emotionally, in love, you have to have the type of person that's really right for you. So not any loving, caring person won't do. Now, any loving, caring person will be way better than a Twinkie person, a person who has no nutritional value to offer to anybody. Okay? So the first thing you do when you meet someone and you go through the healing, great. Now it's time to find out, are they a Twinkie person? They're a Twinkie person is easy to find out. You just watch how they treat everybody. How they treat everyone else in their life is ultimately how they're going to treat you. Is that good enough? Is that nutritional enough? Could you actually live under those circumstances, right? If yes, they're a carrot person, a vegetable person, If no, they're a Twinkie person, they're not going to nourish anybody. No matter how much they healed you in that moment, don't think that continuing to consume them over a long period of time is going to keep you healthy. No, you will get sick again. Okay? All right. But if they are a nutritionally full person, a person who actually has love to offer to another human being, who has care, who has an ear, who has an insight, who has something to offer to another human being, okay? Then you have to see if it's right for you. Is the intellectual stimulation and sharing that they can provide to another human being on the level where you need to connect intellectually? Is the way that they can connect emotionally with another human being the way you need to connect to emotionally with another human being? Is the way you need to connect sexually and affectionately the way that they are capable, that they connect sexually and affectionately, right? You have to see. Just because they're a good person is not good enough. They have to be good enough for you. And only time will show that. You just have to experience that person and see. And take your time. See what happens, people get into trouble because they fall in love because they have this amazing feeling and healing with the person. Oh, I feel so good. All my problems feel like light weights now. Or I don't even have problems anymore. I'm in love, right? So you have that feeling. That doesn't mean it's right for you. That just means it's right to see if you can survive off this. It's right to continue to absorb this person and to allow them to absorb you through sharing, to see if, wow, we're feeding each other. We're not just suppressing something. We're not just doing a homeopathic healing, which is a one-shot deal. We're actually nourishing each other. And that's a really hard thing to find. That's why so many relationships don't work. Okay? It's a really hard thing to find a nutritionally loving love connection. That's the only kind that will last over 6 months, is a nutritional love connection. Okay? Maybe you need medicine for 6 months, but after that it's time to, okay, I need what I need so I can thrive as me. Meaning I need to take where I've healed and move forward in my life. I need what helps me move forward as a more healthy version of myself. And I don't need to be bandaged anymore. I'm ready to confront my disease, my weaknesses, my insecurities through activity and doing something, by moving away from those things. I don't need them Band-Aid anymore. I'm a big enough boy, I can march into the field and do what I need to do for myself, okay? After 6 months, that's what life comes back down to. The Band-Aids don't work after 6 months. You know, life doesn't give us the Band-Aids after the first 6 months. You know, the homeopathy love connection doesn't work after the first 6 months. So what you're left with is, how much can I nourish this person, and how much can they nourish me, as being true to, and both be true to ourselves at the same time. Okay? So it takes at least 6 months to even get an idea if someone's nutritionally, you know, available to you and you to them, if it's going to work long term. So it never pays to rush into things. It just never does. If people continue to nourish you after that, then you won't want to get away from them. Okay? You'll feel better with them. You'll realize that you thrive better with them. You'll realize your life works better with them. Because you're getting the nutrition of love that a person simply needs to be okay. Okay? Because we do need certain social things to be okay. And those only come from nutritionally viable people though, right? Okay, just like you only can build a healthy body off food with nutrients in it, not Twinkies. All right? So, it's rare actually to see, in this day and age, a nutritional love connection. Okay? The reason that is because just like we grow up in a society eating junk food, it's not normal to eat healthy food anymore. People don't like the taste of vegetables. They don't like it. They like the taste of Twinkies and potato chips and whatever. You know, I knew a guy, he ate so bad, he would go to McDonald's and get himself a hamburger, and he would take off the little piece of lettuce, you know, the token piece of lettuce that they put on the hamburger, he would take that off and throw it away because he couldn't stand even this much lettuce on his Big Mac, right? That's what happens. We get so used to eating bad food that our entire chemistry has adapted to that bad food to the point that we crave that bad food. That's what we want. When someone puts the Twinkie here and the carrot here, we don't even see the carrot. We just see the Twinkie and grab it. And we do the same thing in our emotional lives too. You know, we do the same things. We're so used to being in an emotionally malnourished place where we're not getting the social and love connections that humans need to thrive. We're just so used to it. Our whole endocrine system has adapted to that. And our hormones are flowing in a way that we're releasing hormones into our system to adapt of being in an environment that isn't loving. And our hormones are designed to create a sense of equilibrium where we can survive but not thrive. And so we only can operate on that level now. We can't operate on the level of a loving, nurturing relationship anymore. So we don't see the healthy relationship. We see the Twinkie relationship and grab that one every time. Because our whole system is out of shape, is out of sync. We have hormones that want to get stimulated. We want tension and stress in our relationship because we have this abundance of hormone that's designed to deal with stress. And so if we're not getting that stress from our partner, that hormone makes us not feel right. And we are addicted to a stressful relationship. The same way the person who eats the Twinkie is addicted to chemically what happens to their system when they eat the Twinkie now. So they don't even want to eat the lettuce. Okay? So we have to understand that when you're in a malnourished state, when the nutrients you've been getting have not been nutrients, have been poisons, it changes your whole chemistry. And that's why it's so hard to just say, I'm going to go have a good relationship starting today. You know, you go out and there's a carrot and a Twinkie man, and you don't see the Twinkie man. Sorry, you see the carrot man. You only see the Twinkie man. You know, and our systems, our chemical, our endocrine systems make the Twinkie man look like a carrot. And it seems like a carrot for a few months, but it's not. It's just another wrong long-term meal. Okay, so we need to be aware of what's not healthy and stop consuming that. Stop taking the bad food out of the refrigerator. So you need to analyze the people. You need to go to your astrologer and say, should I run from this person, or does this person have some nutrition to offer to another human being? I can't tell you how often I'll have a client, even a friend who I talk to regularly, right? And they'll have this relationship. I'll say, look, next time, bring your chart, bring his chart before you spread your legs. I'll say that. I'll say, before you hump this guy, the next guy, show me his chart, all right? And they don't. They show me his chart after they hump the guy and after they're in tears every time. And I look at their chart and I'm like, oh my God, this is a guy to run from, or this is a woman to run from. There are people you just do run from. You just leave, okay? But they don't. They will convince themselves that Twinkie is a carrot every time. It's that hard. Even when I'm offering to help, show me that chart and I will tell you if you should date this guy or not, or you should run. They don't want to. They want the bad food. We're used to it. Our whole endocrine system's craving the bad food. So we have to be strong. We have to get strong with ourselves and say, okay, what is healthy? What's a healthy person? What is healthy love? I'm not going to eat the Twinkie. So we have to understand what people are. We have to observe them and watch them. Watch how they treat everyone else. That's how you tell someone's a Twinkie, or if they're a vegetable. Okay? If they treat people with care, they're a vegetable. They have the capacity to nourish, actually. They treat everyone like dirt? No way. They're not going to change just for you. But see, when somebody reaches for the Twinkie, they're saying, I know that Twinkie is bad for people. It's been scientifically proven that Twinkies don't nourish people. But because I'm me, I'm going to take that Twinkie and it better damn well nourish me. That's literally what we think when we grab a Twinkie to eat. Oh, it'll feed me. It won't. But we'll tell ourselves it's going to feed me. And we do the same thing with the non-nutritional person. We grab that person, we say, I want this person who is incapable of nourishing anything on earth to be the one that nourishes me. I don't want the vegetable person to nourish me. No. That person nourishes everybody. I want the Twinkie to nourish me. Because when the Twinkie nourishes me, then I'm special. No, you're not. Only the vegetable person can nourish you. But people, we will get in a state, we so much need and want the Twinkie person to nourish us that we won't even see the vegetable person. Okay, why is that? Why do we choose junk food? We choose junk food because we grew up on junk food, right? The guy I knew who took the lettuce off his tomato grew up on Fruit Loops. So of course he's, not going to eat lettuce. He grew up on junk food. Well, we grow up on junk food emotionally too, as well. We grow up in very emotionally unsatisfactory and unhealthy environments. But we want love. We want love, right? We grow up with the abusive parent or the cold, distant parent or the overbearing parent. And we so much just want that parent to love and accept us. That's all we want. We want the love of that parent. So when a healthy person who's non-overbearing, who's non-abusive, etc., comes along and says, I love you, we're like, so what? What do I need love from someone like you for? I need love from an abusive person. Because I want the love from my dad, and he's abusive. Therefore, I only want love from an abusive person. Well, abusive people don't do love. They just don't. No matter how much you want them to, they don't. And that's why we continue to grab the junk food. Okay, those two reasons. It's very, very hard to pick the nutritionally correct person, And that's why the social conditions are the conditions that they are now. So you have to grow in wisdom. It takes time. You have to learn about yourself. You have to learn about your wounds. You have to learn about why you want to eat the unhealthy person. You have to become aware of why you're choosing things. I'm taking the Twinkie because I'm addicted to sugar. Okay, well, don't. Take that vegetable because you want to be addicted to health. And you have to force yourself to eat the vegetables. You literally do. See, I get all the girls all the time say, oh, but I'm not attracted to him. I'm like, no. He's the guy you need to be with. One time I had a guy, he brought me 2 charts of girls. One girl was an angel. Wonderful girl. Really, wow. great. This is a girl who you want to go marry. Okay? The other girl was one of the biggest Hellcats I'd ever seen. She had every Hellcat yoga on earth, you know? And I told him, I said, well, this girl's going to kill you. This girl, you can have a great relationship. But you know what? Based on what's going through your chart, I think you're going to pick the one who's going to kill you. He's like, yeah, you're right, I'm going to pick her. So at least he knew what he was doing. And he got torn up, and he got shredded up, and he got spit out the back. Okay? We literally have to make ourselves eat the good food. You know? My kids, when they were about 7, I took them to the dentist, and they had a cavity. I was really upset. I was like, no, we eat really good. How'd they get a cavity? And I realized they got a cavity because they just weren't eating enough rough vegetables. You know? So I decided at the end of the day, we were going to have a huge salad, lots of roughage, a lot of teeth cleaning, chomping vegetables, a lot of nutrition, a lot of minerals getting squished out of the veggies as you're chomping on them, which go right to your teeth and start rebuilding your teeth immediately. So every day we made this huge salad bowl, like big. We call this big bolsa. It's like this big bowl. And we got a 5-gallon restaurant salad spinner. And we fill it to the top, 5 gallons, spinning that salad dry. Start making these huge salads. And so for dinner, it was like, time to eat a giant salad. And they didn't want to. It took 45 minutes. It was a 45-minute salad. Because it was so big. You have to chew it all. You can't just swallow the big chunks of things. You have to chew it. It took that long to chew. And we all had this 45-minute salad. And the kids didn't want to sit there and eat salad for 45 minutes. I mean, come on, kids they were getting bored, but I would not let them not eat that salad. I yelled, I screamed, I told them they wouldn't leave the room. I watched TV with them, anything to make us sit there and eat that damn salad for 45 minutes. And eventually, they had no choice. I wouldn't budge, and they ate that salad. I forced them to eat that salad. I cussed at them to eat that salad. I literally was like a lunatic about making them eat that salad every night. They had no choice, so they did, But it was so hard to get them to eat that salad. Oh my God. And we eat really pretty good, but they just didn't want to eat a 45-minute salad. So after a couple months of eating salad, at least 45-minute salad every day, every once in a while it'd be like 5 days a week, but it pretty much was every day. They get so used to it, at the end of every day, they want to eat the good salad. They're like, can we make salad now? And then we go on vacation, we're gone 3 days, and we don't get our giant salad bowl. As soon as we get home, they're like, oh, I'm craving salad. Like we're driving home, we're like, oh, you guys want to grab pizza? No, let's go home and make salad. They're like every cell of their body is craving salad. Why? Because their body got used to it and realized this is food, this is nutrition. And we need to do the same thing in our love life. Yes, sometimes you need to take the person who's not the person who's not the Twinkie that you need to love you, and take the good person that bores the shit out of you and just experience them. And go, wait a minute, I feel good. And after time, it's like, wow, I actually feel really good. Wow, this is what I'm craving. This is what I've always needed and wanted. You have to play that game a little bit. Okay? People are attracted to the Twinkie because it's bad for them. We do the same thing in love. Okay? So find good nutritional partners and taste them and see if they can feed you. And take your time. Don't make a decision right away. If they're a nutritionally viable person, who, as you watch them how they treat other people with the care and respect that is showing care for life, then let them try. Let them try to be your lover. Let them try to love you. And take your time with it. And by let them try, I don't mean, spread your legs right away. No, I mean, let them in your space. Even if you're not super attracted to them, let them in your space. And as you get some healthier food, see how you feel. They might turn out to be the love in your life. They might not be, but there's a chance. The Twinkie that you desperately want to gorge on is not going to be Mr. Right. Guaranteed, though. So what do you got to lose, right? It's a very important thing to understand. It takes an element of willpower. When it comes to relationships, we are dealing with addiction to the wrong people. We're not dealing with bad fate. We're literally dealing with addiction of my endocrine system is addicted to these horrible feelings my lovers are creating within me because I've been addicted to these feelings since I was a kid and being tormented by my parents. You know, our hormones, we get addicted. Every hormone in our body is an addictive thing. If we're addicted to having certain hormones released in our body because of how our parents treat us, we're only going to want that in a partner. So we have to break the addiction. We literally have to work through that. Okay, I actually have a friend who has a technique for working with these type of chemical addictions. I'm going to put her link to her webpage on the bottom of this as well. Okay, but you have to realize breaking addictions takes a primary ingredient called willpower. Okay, you have to force yourself to do what you don't want to do sometimes. You have to force yourself to do the healthy things sometimes. Okay? We need more nutritionally healthy relationships. We need more relationships where people thrive with each other, where people nourish each other the way humans just need to be nourished. We have to break this chain of eating bad, nutritionally deficient partners. Okay? And we also have to break the chain of thinking just because somebody healed you or made you feel better, that means they're yours to eat forever. They're not. They're usually not. They're just a godsend for a short period of time. Enjoy them, heal them, let them heal you. But wait and see if they're nutritionally complete enough to be your partner. That takes at least 6 months. At least 6 months. Okay? You can't know before then, you know? Because the first 6 months, it's all that in love feeling, right? It's after the 6 months, get back to the normal life and get back to your normal way of being, what you need to do, what you need to be, and then see if they're nutritionally compatible for you. And don't even start anything with them if they're not a nutritionally viable person. If they're a Twinkie, run. Go to your astrologer, find out if they're a Twinkie, you know? Twinkie won't do anyone any good after 10 minutes. Sometimes you need a Twinkie for 10 minutes, but never more than that. Okay? All right, thank you.